This monthly basic training video is on fire service elevator orientation. In this video, we will review the operation of Phase 1 and Phase 2 for firefighter elevator operations. When used properly, firefighter elevator control can be beneficial in moving personnel and equipment during fire and EMS incidents, and it provides us a controlled means to evacuate non-ambulatory occupants during post-fire conditions. Let's review when an elevator must not be used. In accordance with Policy and Procedure 24-1, Incident Response Policy, Appendix E, High-Rise Fires, personnel must not use an elevator to access a floor when A. Fire, smoke, or heat is detected in the hoistway or elevator shaft or reported in the elevator machine room. B. When the hoistway smoke and or heat detector indicator is activating in the elevator. C. When firefighter service is unavailable or cannot be confirmed as operating correctly. D. For any incident that is located or reported on or below the 5th floor. E. In addition, individuals who are not emergency service providers must not ride elevators during actual or potential fire conditions. F. Elevators must not be used in independent service mode under fire conditions. Always remember, vertical shafts provide a natural channel for fire, smoke, and heat to travel and will endanger or possibly severely injure any occupants traveling in an elevator car if safety precautions are not met. For this reason, elevators must not be used in independent service mode under any fire or smoke conditions. Independent service is a special service mode activated by a key switch, either inside the elevator car itself or on a centralized control panel in the lobby. This special mode is usually used when transporting large freight or moving groups of people between certain floors, and normally does not have the safety features a firefighter service provides firefighters. Now that we have reviewed when not to use the elevators, let's review the use of fire service elevator control. Most elevator keys are secured in the building's Knox box and may be red in color. It is important to pre-plan to ensure you have the proper keys in the building's Knox box. After obtaining the proper building and elevator keys, check the alarm panel to determine if any floor or floors have an activated alarm or initiating device. Phase 1 of the fire service elevator control allows emergency responders to gain control of the elevator cars within the elevator bank or multiple cars in one location and safely override the elevator occupant's controls. This override will recall or return the elevator car to a predetermined floor in the building. This override will not allow the elevator car to be called up to the fire floor. The predetermined level is usually the lobby or main entrance where emergency personnel most likely will enter the building. Once you determine that you will be using the building's elevator, personnel must note the location of the nearest stairwell before entering the elevator. If a smoke or heat detector is activated at the predetermined floor where the elevator normally recalls to, the elevator will come to an alternate predetermined floor. It may be important to pre-plan buildings that have Phase 1 capability in order to know what predetermined floor Phase 1 will recall the elevator cars to and evaluate if Phase 2 capability exists. When checking the alarm panel, ensure the elevator machine room and the hoistway detectors are not activated. Once the elevator or elevators have been cleared of any alarm indicators, follow these steps. Insert the elevator key and turn fireman service to the on position. This is Phase 1 activation. All of the elevators in the bank will be recalled to the designated floor. The door will stay open to assist in checking the hoistway for smoke. Using a handlight, check the hoistway for smoke, fire, or water. If nothing is found, emergency personnel can then enter the elevator. If the red helmet icon located on the inside elevator control panel is flashing, do not use the elevator. This usually means a heat detector may have been activated in the machine room, control room, or the hoistway. Now let's operate the elevator in Phase 2. Phase 2 for the fire service elevator control allows emergency responders to control specific elevator cars in that particular bank of elevators. This control allows firefighters to gain access to upper floors during a fire incident. Remember, firefighters must be wearing full PPE and have their SCBA turned on with regulator in hand. Let's say the fire is on the 18th floor. We are going to exit on the 16th floor. We will select the 8th floor as our midpoint stop to confirm that we have control over the elevator. If your elevator fails to stop on your selected midpoint floor, click in your SCBA regulator. Quickly press the Call Cancel button and the elevator should stop. Then choose another lower level floor and exit the elevator, placing that elevator out of service by advising other arriving units and command. Once you have successfully stopped at your midpoint, use the peekaboo feature to check the floor for smoke and fire. Do this by holding the door open button. If there is smoke present, release the open button and the door should close. You should return the elevator to a safe lower level floor and advise other incoming units and command. If there is no smoke, check the hoistway for smoke and fire and the floor for orientation. Once at the desired floor, turn Phase 2 elevator control off and send the elevator keys back down with the car. Place the keys on the floor or in the corner by the elevator controls. Holding the elevator at the floor will prevent crews in the lobby from recalling it. On larger incidents, command should consider designating someone as the elevator car operator to shuttle crews and equipment. Once done with fireman service, the steps are reversed to resume normal elevator operations. Here are some other things to be aware of when utilizing fireman service. In its simplest form, a fire curtain is similar to a fire door, but it's much lighter, and the fire-rated material is hidden in a manner which automatically unrolls downwards when needed. Fire curtains are automated, and they drop down upon activation of the fire alarm panel or individual smoke or heat detector. Once they have fallen, they secure the opening and will withstand a fire for between 1 to 4 hours, depending on its fire rating. The curtains also seal off the hoistways and stop the chimney effect and prevent smoke from traveling to other floors. When not required, fire curtains can either be manually reset or automatically retract into their concealed position until they're activated again. Some buildings in Montgomery County are equipped with occupant evacuation elevators. These elevators will still be operational when fireman service is being used. This is as a result of studies on using elevators to evacuate high-rise buildings after the World Trade Center collapse on September 11th. In the 16 minutes before the second tower at the World Trade Center was struck, nearly 3,000 occupants were able to evacuate the building because they used the elevators. Some of the requirements for evacuation elevators are as follows. They will not have the standard plaque that states, "In case of fire, do not use elevator." The elevator hoistway, the elevator lobby, and associated enclosed exit stairs, or the areas that make up the occupant evacuation shaft system, need to be protected from fire originating outside the occupant evacuation shaft system. Smoke from outside these evacuation elevators must not enter the occupant evacuation shaft system in sufficient quantity to initiate elevator recall via the smoke detectors. Water from discharging sprinklers and firefighting operations needs to be kept out of the hoistway of these evacuation elevators to permit elevator equipment to continue operating safely during an event. Occupant evacuation elevators offer more fire protection than others in the bank, but they are not required, and they're very expensive, so most building owners do not install them. Always remember, be careful not to overload the elevator's capacity. 2 full companies dressed in PPE and SCBA can come awfully close. Now let's see how fireman service can be used during an EMS call. Phase 2 fire service elevator control may also be used to gain access to the upper floors during an EMS incident. Phase 2 gives the rescuers the ability to hold the car on the floor to facilitate rapid transport of the patient down the elevator to the waiting ambulance. By keeping the elevator car in Phase 2, the rescuers can use the car almost as an express elevator, not having to stop at any of the floors other than the designated level. Thanks for taking the time to review Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Fireman Service elevator operations.